Silver has already peaked. That's the call from a respected voice on Wall Street this week. The high is in, maybe for years. We check the veracity of that claim. Here's what we're checking today. The claim that silver's bull market is finished, the jobs report that actually moved the price yesterday, and the one level that tells us who's right by Friday. The claim comes from a senior commodity strategist at a major financial data firm. The argument goes like this. Silver and gold have stopped acting like safe havens and started acting like risky bets. Silver now swings more than twice as much as the stock market. And when an asset moves that wildly, it's behaving like a speculative chip, not a store of value. The conclusion: the top is in, and it could stay in for years. Here's what the facts actually say. That argument is about how silver trades. It is not about how much silver exists. Those are two completely different questions, and the whole peak call depends on blurring them together. Point 1. What makes this a silver bull market isn't calm, orderly trading. It's a supply shortage. The world has used more silver than it produced for 5 years running, and the latest industry survey projects a sixth shortage this year. A volatility reading doesn't add a single ounce back. Wild price swings and a physical shortage can absolutely exist at the same time. In fact, they usually do. Point 2. If silver were truly topping out, you'd expect physical metal to drain out of the system as demand dried up. The opposite is happening. The official vaults took silver in yesterday, not out. Point 3. Silver is still historically cheap against gold. Right now, it takes about 59 ounces of silver to buy a single ounce of gold. A year ago, it took far more. In other words, silver has been gaining ground on gold, not losing it, the opposite of what a finished bull market looks like. We're not naming the strategist behind this claim. The point is the logic. And this logic mistakes a rough ride for a wrong direction. High volatility tells you how silver is trading. It doesn't tell you there's any less silver in the world. So the peak call rests on the chart, not the metal. And that's the deeper problem with it. The bull case was never that silver would rise in a straight line. It's that a real, physical shortage eventually forces the price higher, however bumpy the road there. Volatility isn't evidence against that. It's what the road actually looks like. Quick aside, subscribe and hit the bell. When there is so much hype and misinformation out there, you need a trusted source to make sense of what's going on with silver. Here's what the data actually says about yesterday's drop. Silver did fall. It closed Tuesday around $77, then slid toward $73. But look at why. The government reported that job openings jumped to 7.6 million in April, the strongest in over a year, and well above what economists expected. A hot jobs number means the Federal Reserve is more likely to keep interest rates high. And high rates make assets that pay you nothing, like silver, less attractive in the short run. So traders sold. Notice what that is. That's a reaction to an interest rate headline. It is not silver running out of buyers, and it is not the shortage easing. In fact, the vaults grew. The official exchange added about 600,000 ounces of silver in a single day, even as the price was falling. In other words, the paper price went one way, and the physical supply went the other. That gap is the whole story. And it's exactly the gap a peak call ignores. So watch the price, not the headline. The level that matters now is $73. That's the floor silver tested yesterday, and it's the line the "it's all over" crowd is pointing to. Here's the test. If silver holds above 73 through Friday's big jobs report, yesterday's drop was just an interest rate wobble inside a longer climb. If it breaks below and stays there, the doubters get their first real piece of evidence. One number, 2 days. We should have the answer by Friday. Structure checks like today's are what the silver catalyst does every issue. silver2026.com. $1, 2 weeks of the newsletter, plus the book. If you've heard a silver claim you'd like us to verify, drop it in the comments. Until the next time, I'm the Silver Engineer.